and welcome back to the Women Making Herstory series. I'm your host today, Nancy Matthews, and I'm one of the founders of Women's Prosperity Network, bringing you 31 extraordinary women as we all come together to celebrate Women's History Month. And today I have the pleasure of introducing you to Sherinata Pollock, who is truly making a difference in the world by giving each and every one of us tools and abilities and opportunities to tap into the best part of us so we can create our stories. Welcome, Sherinata. I am so happy you're here today.
Me too. I am so excited to be part of Herstory because women are definitely rising right now.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what's interesting? It's as we're talking about women rising, we've always been rising, and now the world is finally noticing.
It really is. Yeah, right. We have been.
Yeah.
We have for a long time, which is why we're going to talk about who we love from history.
Yes, we are. Yes, we're going to do that as well. And before we dive in, like I'm just hanging out with my good friend here, I want to make sure the audience knows who you are for the listening of all the value that you're about to bring to them. So Sherinata Pollock is the creator of so many amazing things, products, programs, opportunities. I mean, she's changing the world with the work that she does. Her passion is getting people out of stress and into success by teaching them to tap into their brilliance so they can live their life the way they've always dreamed of. She has helped hundreds of people activate their personal freedom, joy, and abundance quickly and effortlessly. I've experienced it myself, so that they can become more heart-centered, happier, and healthier. Her passion is to give adults an opportunity to create personal, financial, and emotional freedom so that we can revolutionize the way that we raise our children by making a positive impact in the world for generations to come. She's a dynamic, engaging speaker, author, master transformational life coach, energy healer, and positive change activist for humanity. She is best known for her authenticity, her passion, her enthusiasm for life. She's the founder of Corellia Creations, caring for the healing of humanity, a marketplace that educates and sells holistic products that support living a healthier and happier life for people of all ages. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you, and thanks for having me on this great month-long dedication to women.
Yes, you're welcome. You're one of the women making herstory. How I had to include you.
Does that include Hershey's as well?
Hershey's? Yeah, I think so. Where's my chocolate? Well, so I want to dive in. We're going to talk today about this amazing process and programs that you've created about creating $1 million frequencies. So let our audience know a little bit about what that is, and then we'll dive into some other questions I have for you.
Sure. Let's dive. The $1 million frequencies, I always say, like, how can we live a $1 million lifestyle if we are not living the vibrations of that brings in the richness of our lives in all aspects of our lives? We can have millions of dollars and doesn't mean we're going to be happy. There's many people who have millions of dollars, and money does not always bring happiness. And so we always think money is going to solve our problems on so many levels, but does it solve our confidence? Does it solve our happiness, our joy, our relationships? And sometimes money brings even more problems to people. The more that they have, the more problems they have, it creates. So it's how do we fill up our well the correct way? And I always say that if we had a looking glass or a crystal ball to say, what is it? How is it that I can make my life richer and better in all aspects of it, from my feeling safe in my world, feeling secure, feeling happy, feeling loved, feeling inner peace and harmony and joy and all those amazing things. If we can find that crystal ball to say, how can I get that in my life? That's what it's about. That's how we live our $1 million. That's how we get to that $1 million vibration and that frequency to create a $1 million lifestyle. Because when you have all these things together, all the money in the world will bring you happiness, but you will bring you happiness no matter where you are, how much money you have. And the more money you have, dang it, you're going to do a lot with that money to help others and help the world and your own legacy as well.
So it's interesting because as I reflect on how I was brought up, society, go to school, get a good job, get a husband, you know, all of those traditional ways, all of those things to get us to happy. I believe that my generation was kind of sold a false bill of goods, because it's about, from what I'm hearing from you, it's about first being happy and then having things.
Yes. And it's a matter of, I'm going to go back to how do we raise our children? Who we are as human beings. Whether you're a parent or you're an aunt, you're an uncle, a grandparent, it doesn't matter. How confident are you in loving who you are and happy in your life that you're going to raise a child who's going to create pure happiness in their life, so that way they can go out and, you know, have fulfillment in their life doing the job that they want. Because when we think about it, and you're absolutely correct, we go back how many generations we had to do what our parents did.
Mm-hmm.
We had to fill the jobs and the expectations that their parents had. And even if they were a coal miner, you had a coal miner's family, you know, and that doesn't mean that they, you know, even if they had the basic needs, if they were happy in their own self, that's one thing. But truly, it creates, you know, there are so many layers of generational, what would we call it, generational,
you know, encoding or
beliefs, encoding. Yeah, exactly. Beliefs, encoding, DNA, yeah, mindset.
You know, and as I'm hearing this conversation, and you and I have both gone through that, metamorphosis comes to mind. The metamorphosis yes. of being who we really want to be, being happy first, and then having and doing from that place. I'm inspired to ask you, there's somebody watching this video today that can't see a way out. Like, oh, that sounds good for you, that you can do it, but they can't even imagine that their life could be other than the current path that they're on. What would you offer to someone who's feeling that right now?
To say that there's always another side of a coin to look at. And and to know that whatever you're seeing right now in your life is only the reality that's being created at that moment. In that we have every second, every hour, every 24 hours in a day, what we do with that is our own choices, down to the very millisecond that we have choices, that we have the opportunity to create change. And whether it's through a support system, whether it's through whatever it is that you want, whether if you just want to do it through total positive attitude, begin to really change and evaluate your life, who you're hanging around, who's supporting you, where are you getting your information from, who's bringing you down, who's bringing you up. Is your life, you know, when you begin to really evaluate, which is why I'm going to offer my I want to offer definitely this challenge at the end, is going to be a game changer for so many people, to really take a look at the aspect of their entire life, to give them not just hope, but to know that all it is tweaking in our life. You know, it's little baby steps that create massive changes.
Yeah, and you know,
and it's effortless sometimes.
It can be effortless, especially if you're just doing one step at a time, right?
Mm-hmm, exactly.
And I know it through my metamorphosis and my own unfoldment, it never stops. It's a continuous growth process. So I'm always there's always something that I'm going to do next that's outside of my comfort zone. And having the skills to move through that, to get to that next level, doesn't matter where we're at. Having those tools will get us along the way.
That's the most important thing. And I know that our lives are extremely busy right now. And I've, you know, somehow or another, I've given many gifts, and there's lots of different programs out there that maybe absorb those gifts as well. And they're all tools to pass on to other people, because, you know, we can't call somebody on a cell phone without our cell phone, you know. Yet, guess what? Intuitively, you might be able to pick up on somebody who wants to call you and say, oh my God, I was thinking about you, right? And when we begin to stop and we begin to really get out of that chaos and back into us, and you really stop and think about it, changes will happen like crazy. You know, it's all around you. So, so having the tools and just knowing the tools is the first step. You know, well, no, really, the first step is acknowledging that you're ready for change, and then begin to look for that change, allowing it to say, yes, I accept it and I can create it. Because it really, honestly, like you said, we are so relaxed in our safety zone.
Yeah.
We have to get out of our boxes and try something new, or else, you know, if you don't change, it's not going to change.
Yep. Right? If you want to change, you got to change, right? Look,
If you want to change, you got to change.
Moment, we know that, right? So I want to ask, you are out there talking about healing energy. Corellia Creations has products that protect us from EMFs. You're working with children. What you do is a different voice in today's world that takes courage. So how did that happen for you, that you found the courage to get out there and tell your stories, to create her story for so many?
That's a great question, Nancy. Let me tell you something. You know, everything we do is, I believe, divinely, intricately created in our life to become who we are. And I know I was on a platform at one point where I was working with the children, you know, in the entertainment business, and that gave me that courage, even though, you know, as a clown, entertaining kids, you know, painting faces, and I was comfortable on that zone. And then it came time for me to switch it over to something bigger, because I knew I was ready to work with children and adults on a bigger level. I was scared, like so scared. So what did I do to get there? I cried a lot. And you know that I cried. I was scared. I said no. I said yes. I challenged myself. Then I stopped. And then I changed again. And I took a step further. And then I took 2 steps back. And I took 10 steps. And I leaped. And basically, it's like they say, like, if your dreams don't scare you, or they're not big enough. And that's exactly what I was so driven by passion to know that I wanted change in myself. I knew I wanted to do what I wanted to do passionately, that I had to believe in a support system, be with WPN as a network, find people that supported me, invest in myself, you know, with coaches to help transform me, listen to my own meditations and intuition to come through. I have never stopped journaling since I was like probably 16 years old, listening to what comes through in my own messages. And I think that when we begin to come back to who we are, that's how we gain our courage in getting that support system and investing in ourselves as with a coach and with other people.
Awesome. Thank you.
I know you do this and I do this.
Yeah.
It's like at least once or twice a year, we go and do something really big for ourselves, transform our minds.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep growing. Awesome. All right. So I'm asking everyone, a woman in history who had an influence or an impact on you.
I have always loved Juliet Gordon-Low.
Who I don't know. I'm learning about.
Oh my goodness.
From this.
She is the founder of Girl Scouts.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. And she was a trailblazer. She, you know, started later in life with the Girl Scouts, with the organization and creating it. And she had a big fall. She was married to, she came from great money. She had lots of money, and she came from a great family. And then she married this guy who was just like this player, you know, but it was set up. It was set up and back in the 1900s. And they're like, you need to marry this guy because he's going to be the best. Well, he was such a jerk. Anyway, but he was a millionaire. He was a playboy. So they ended up going off to England. She's from Georgia, Savannah, real fast. She ends up going to, she goes to England. He plays off. She says, I'm divorcing you. Nobody would ever say.
Nobody got divorced then, right?
Nobody got divorced. She was getting divorced. Ends up that he ended up dying. But
he inherited all his money.
Yeah, she got all his money, but she had a lot of money anyway. So, and she grew up in a family of conflict because it was during the slavery. Her father was into the cotton fields, and her mother was on the whole other side because she was from the New York or the North or whatever, did not believe in this at all. So
Wow.
she conflict. So she grew up realizing that, things, if you don't like change, you have to figure out how you're going to change. When she went through that divorce or that death, she traveled all through Europe, Egypt, all over the place by herself. And there you go. She came back, and there you have it.
Quite a woman in history. I love it.
She's amazing. Yeah, I love it. Yep.
As are you, my friend.
Thank you, and you too.
Thank you. All right, we're coming to a close. Please let our listeners know, our viewers know what this gift is. And all you have to do is click on the link below, and you can get this free gift from Sherinata. So tell them what they're going to be able to take and use in their lives.
Okay, so it's a 10-day, it's called Positive Challenge, because we want to create positive me, starting from me. And so basically it's a only 10 minutes a day it'll take you for 10 days, and you're going to get it's a guide to really looking into your life, into all aspects, how you can create more abundance, happiness, joy, and peace in your life. And it's just questions that, you have there's a little story in it, and then it makes you think, and then you write about what comes up for you.
I want to do it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm so excited. So you just go to, it's not,
No, just click on the link below.
Good. Just click on the link. That's it.
I got you all set up.
You go to the link.
All right, beautiful. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for making history. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And you too, Nancy, and everybody out there watching. Thank you so much. Keep watching, because I'm sure you're going to get a lot of great information from all the 31, is it?
31.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. All right.
I know.
Thank you, Sherinata. Thank you to all our viewers for tuning in for yourself. And grab Sherinata's gift, and then be also sure, if you have not done this yet, click on the other button. Join the movement. We are making history together. We need you, your voice, and your story to get out there in the world in a big way. And that's what Women's Prosperity Network is all about, shining the light on others so we can light up the world together.
Right.
All right, baby. Thank you. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.